those who. Okay, so also the peripheral devices, monitor, keyboard, mouse, and speakers. So let me just show you something, okay? There are types of people in every department, even if that's finance, that's accounting, if that's engineering, if that's IT, even every department, even if there are people like they're not doing job, they're just like having other professions, okay? If they're in healthcare, they're having without profession, they're just doing just a simple work. The psyche of people is that people actually are two types. Some people, they just like to work on desktop. Do you know why? Because they say, do you know why do I like desktop? Let's suppose, for example, they say, we become super dedicated for that. We don't have flexibility and we just do our work super fast. That is one of the best answer I have got from a lot of users. I have been in a scientific surveys. Why do people like desktop systems? So there are still people, okay? Don't be like news about this. There are still people that like desktop system more than laptop. The reason behind it is they have so much capabilities. The expansion capability of a desktop is way better than laptop. Remember that. So there are people, they love to work on desktop. They say we are focused, we do our work, and everything works fine for us. So we love our desktop. We don't need a laptop and all that stuff. But there are also people, they say that, you know, we are like more traveling people. We have some meeting in this continent, in this city, then we have another meeting in the next continent, then we have a meeting on next country and all the stuff. So that's why laptop is super important for me. So that's why I a laptop lover. So they just love laptop. Okay, so there's two types of people, remember, okay? Desktop and laptop. So the big reason is we have small tower of desktop. Still these days, we have a very great desktops. You can expand those laptops. The motherboard that's inside desktop is like, you can extend the RAM in the super speed. You can also extend the hard drive. You just name any peripheral device, you would have those expansion slots in your desktop. The case in laptop is a little different. It is portable. They have their own. You can say, advantages, pros and cons. So you just have to look to the user requirement. If someone asks you, hey, Vector, my friend, well, how would you recommend me a computer? I am just kind of a business type of person. I travel from this day, from this station to another station and all that stuff. What do you recommend for me? So you have to ask, okay, I know about the IT. I have done the CompTIA course and all that stuff. So I would recommend you, for example, like you're a traveling person and you say, I need a rough and tough kind of laptop. So I'll recommend you, let's suppose, Dell Latitude series, okay? That is one of Dell laptop. We have Latitude series for official users, and we have gaming series, we have Slim series. So there are a lot of series in laptops and all that stuff, okay? So and the reason behind it that this is how it is done. So and one of the most important question you have to ask from the user. If you need a computing device, if you need a computer, if that is laptop or desktop, you first have to mention your budget to me, okay? So that is one of the most important question you have to ask in counter kind of Q&A, okay? If they ask you, Vector, you're attending the training session and you do not recommend me in a desktop or laptop, you'll say, I know about that. What is your budget? What kind of person you are? Do you travel a lot? Are you a dedicated person? If I assign you a task, you're just doing one go, or you do want a little flexibility in that and all that stuff. So you have a lot of things over here. You have to watch out that, and you have to ask these questions from users. Okay, one of the important questions you have to ask from user. So in notebook and laptop series, we have several aspects of that as well. We will also discuss that. A small computer that combines a display and keyboard that is designed to be easily carried out. Normally, a laptop is like it comes like with with full keyboard. That means the numeric keys are also involved that are for finance and accounting and all those stuff that are doing with numbers. So, and there are like without the numeric without the numeric key. So you have like two types of, these are one of the can say the types of laptops that you can have. Then we have also the gaming side. We also have official laptops. We also have slim laptops. We have touch 360 laptops. So it totally depends on the requirement. We will discuss that later on. We have mobile devices over here. That's also smart devices. I think all of you should have that by now. And it's not a big deal. Small kids are having that. So I think you can, you're like super comfortable with that, okay? So smartphone devices, small computing devices such as tablets and smartphones are much portable than desktops and laptops. Obviously, you cannot have your desktop if you're traveling from one city to another city and you're just sitting on the airport lounge and you have your monitor on your back and your CPU within your bag and you have a luggage and you have just even done another reservation for another person that's just carrying all your luggage. I don't think you can do that, right? So for that reason, obviously, you have to take out your laptop and you have to use that to avoid all those things, okay? So obviously, the mobile devices include the tablets, smartphones, and they are much more portable, means obviously you can have that in your pocket and you can just surf around and you can have a super capability of almost everything these days. The camera is super great in laptop, the processing is super fast in them, and the storage is great enough. So all in the world you have all the features you have over there. Even you have like more than features than your computer and laptops, because the smartphone is a world that's having all the features and all the things are running these days on your smartphone. So this is one thing you have to look after this, okay? So this is what you get when you get a complete desktop: monitor, keyboard, mouse, speakers, and video cam. It depends on your requirement. If you want, you can have webcam. Else, most of the monitors don't have that. You have to purchase an additional gadget as a webcam that's used. You have to purchase that for your desktop system. So this is one thing you have to look after to your user requirement. Maybe you can work as a startup IT individual for any company, okay? And they would say, hey, you have done the CompTIA course, you were fine enough with all the basic things. Can you recommend, like, we have 500 and we have just opened a new company of 500 people. We have 500 people, new employees, and we are planning to purchase them a desktop system. So this is where your expertise will be required. This is where you have to convince your manager. So these all managerial kind of skills, vendor management skills, you have to know about the international brands. You have to know about the international organization. Okay, in desktop system, what do I have? I have Dell, okay. What else do I have? I have HP, okay, great. I have Mac, okay. I have Lenovo, and I have IBM. So the list goes on, right? It totally depends on your budget, okay? So once you have a clear path, you have to discuss that with management that, okay, I know several vendors, and I think we should first have an accurate kind of thing regarding the budget, so we can adjust our all of these desktop system within our budget. So this is one of the most important thing that you will be having, and you have to look after these things, okay? So the advantages are modular, obviously, easy to repair, more powerful. Because it's obviously a big system, you don't need any micro kind of equipment for your desktop. So you can easily repair that. More powerful obviously means that it has a lot of expansion slots. So You can expand the memory, okay? The RAM, random access memory. So if I ask you people, what are the two most important things? What are the two most important things if you want to purchase any computer? What would you say about? Can you just type me? Can you just type? Anyone can just type in the chat room. What can you recommend when you're like disk space? Great, Eunice, that's great. And we have processor. One more thing I'm looking for, processor. Speed obviously means processor. So RAM, yeah. RAM processor, great enough. That's okay. So there are only like almost like 3 or 2 things, okay? First of all, you have to, the standard RAM these days in the international market is, if you're having a very good reputation on the company, so you should recommend always 16 gig of RAM, okay? Just note that, that's the standard RAM. You can expand that to 32, 64, it really depends on your requirement. But 16 is the minimum, okay? 16 gig of RAM. And the processor obviously is connected with the generation. We will discuss about that. So you also have to recommend a good processor. And the third thing is the SSD, the storage, okay? And you'll obviously recommend the SSD that these days we are having. You should not recommend HDD, okay? That was the old version of hard drive. So the disadvantages are they are not, these computer desktops are not mobile. You cannot like, they're not portable, and it requires AC power. So this is one of the problems. They have a lot of cablings, so you have to also manage those cablings, and you have to give them continuous power. So this is one of the laptop they have shown us. Most probably is the HP one they have shown over here. So the advantages of a laptop is it is lighter, more compact. Obviously, we have mouse, keyboard, wireless networking, and battery power. That is one of the most important things that we are having. And the disadvantages we face with the laptops are difficult to repair because they are both like super expensive, and it's very hard to find a technician to check all the things, and it's more expensive. And obviously, the less computing power is an issue. But these days, it totally depends on your budget. So if you have a higher budget, you can get that computing power. So these are the pros and cons of a laptop, okay? We come to the computing device of mobile devices. That's tablet, smartphone. And that is obviously, we have the best mobility because obviously it's already in our pocket. So what else mobility would you require, okay? You cannot eat that. Even they have it's in your pocket. You can go to hiking, you can go to picnic, you can go to parties, you can go to any kind of travel, and still you will have your cell phone. Then you have integrated hardware. You have a lot of integrated hardware within your cell phone, especially the camera, the voice applications you're having over there. You have a touch screen over there. So it depends on a lot of features inside the same cell phone vendor. So it depends on vendor to vendor. Inexpensive apps, you have Android Store, you have App Store, almost like they are super less charge. So you have inexpensive applications or softwares, and it's less expensive. It's like anyone can, almost everyone is affordable to purchase a smartphone device these days. And they have the touchscreen as well, obviously. So the disadvantage is difficult to repair because we have specific vendors for that. You have to, once that's damaged, you have to go and you have to make sure that it's gone to the authorized dealer. The seal battery, obviously, there are a lot of cell phones, so you have to look up to that as well. And it's low productivity. The screen is little and you don't have that much function, so it couldn't utilize your full potential. So that is one of the disadvantages we are having in the computing devices of smartphone, okay? So obviously, this is how in desktop we discuss you're super dedicated, you're up to task, and people love about it. A lot of people, video editors, especially data scientists and all that stuff, they just love to work in desktop, okay? and they are still like a fan of desktop. Okay, they can upgrade that. They can have according to their own requirement and or model, and they say I'm totally perfect with my desktop system. And the laptop is obviously something is if you travel, if you have like little kind of you can say travel kind of job, you have to go from here and there, and you need portability in this. There where you have to use your laptop. Okay, we have a lot of series in laptop. The greatest like vendors in these days we are having is obviously of Dell, HP, Mac, and Lenovo, Huawei, Sony, so Toshiba, and Acer. So almost like more than 8 and 10. Okay, I've just mentioned one of the top branded. So the issues you have to just figure out. I have like one of the series I'll just like let you people know is the Dell Inspiron series, one of the best series if you're looking for a battery backup. They have almost like 12 hours battery. Okay, so there are regions that need more battery. They don't have time to recharge again and again, and they need a lot of backup for the battery. So Dell Inspiron series is one of the XPS series, sorry. XPS series, Dell XPS series, one of the great version regarding the performance, the battery, and all the stuff. It's just for the information. So you have to look to the market and you have to figure out the specific product according to your user requirement. It changes from time to time, remember, okay? So the portability, obviously we are having it, and the most of people like the gamers, they love to work in desktop environment. They are super dedicated. They can play PUBG, okay? They can play Need for Speed. They can play Call of Duty, okay? So they can be super focused, and they can win the games and all this stuff. So sometimes I also do, by the way, we are the IT guys, at least we should try the environment, how does that works. But excessive use of gaming is obviously it's not recommended, neither for us. We don't have time, but especially for children, you have to watch these out. These are like some very they have written under those games that it's like 8 plus maybe, so it's like 12 plus, so something like this is already written on the games when you play that. So make sure whenever you get to any whenever you hand over your desktop to children, make sure the content they are using, the content they are playing, or the content they are watching, they are appropriate according to their age. So it is totally, the world is totally like digital, so you have to look after the mental health of your own and also of your family. Okay, one of the most important things, remember it. Okay, mental health. Okay, that is super recommended. Okay, so in desktop, let me just wind up in a very quick moment. In desktops we have let me just show you this. Let me just show this on the screen. That can help people. So these are some very interesting things. You have to look up to those things, and obviously once you have a clear vision regarding these things, you'll just feel very comfortable regarding those things. So we have mini tower. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing the screen. Let me just share that in a moment. Okay. So this is one of the things that you have the mini tower. Okay, this is the mini tower Dell Optiplex 7090. The model refers. So you can just type on Amazon over here, and you can just you have the latest generation over here. Let's just quickly serve this system. You may have eBay, you may have other online stores. That's really okay. You'll find the same kind of configuration in all those online stores. Okay, so this is one of the desktop system. At the top, you can see it has a DVD room, and this is the power button. You see about that. Optiplex is a series that the Dell has launched. The model number is 9020. You have 4 USB 3.0. You have 2 jacks for a headphone and microphone, and obviously a very brand logo of Dell over here, so they can have promotion. And if you go to the store over here, to the specification of this is the brand is Dell Computer Tower. You have a operating system. You can mark any one of that. It should be 16. Remember, the standard one is 16. Okay. So the RAM memory, random access memory, you will come to that also. It's in this system they are offering 8, but you can expand that to 16. You can tell the vendor that I need in 16, so they can just upgrade that for you. The model number is Optiplex, is the series that Dell have launched. The model number is 9020. The CPU model, that is the processor, and that's Core i7, okay? And obviously we have the color also. We have the special feature of keyboard, DVD writers installed over here at the top. And the CPU is Intel. So who can tell me what other processor vendors are there in the market except Intel, okay? Anyone, can you please jump? Oh, AMD, you are a little closer. I need the exact name of the vendor. Something more beside the Intel that you always see IBM. You can say that NVIDIA is the looking for something else. Ryzen series, obviously. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Ryzen series of AMD, that's great. So what I was looking actually, those were also with AMD, that's also great. They're the same vendor, obviously, and they have the series of Ryzen series. So it is the first time in the processor history that a good competitor has come into market. So that's a good news for us, for all of the users, okay? That's the great news. So the reason behind it is because Intel had a dominancy for a very long time, and people were not happy. People need more speed, and people need more competition and all the stuff. So until then, AMD just launched the Ryzen series, and I am like one of the biggest fan of AMD series. Believe me, if you just use Ryzen series of the CPU, whenever you go or you want to install that, you'll just love it, okay? They have super great features comparing to Intel, okay? So we have a great competitor in the market, that's AMD with the series of Ryzen. Currently, I think they have Ryzen 9, if I'm not wrong. So they have Ryzen 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So till 9, I think they have jumped out, and currently we are working on 13th generation, okay? So whenever you want to buy a computer, you have to ask about generation. Generation is just a kind of, you can say, an upgrade, like you're having an iPhone this September. It is an upgraded version of the last year iPhone. So the same thing you have to look for over here. If you see at this tower, this is Acer Aspire TC 1760. They have the 12th generation. I think you should also find 13th generation, that's the latest one, if I'm not wrong. So this is Acer Aspire also, it's also 12th generation. So you have to like, this is the Ryzen 7 series 5700X, okay? So this is one of the CPU you're having it, and they have a super cool processor of Ryzen. If you go over here, and if you go to the CPU model, you can see they have installed Ryzen 7 series. So that's a great thing. You have another computer regarding the marketing side and all the stuff of processing. That is the AMD that they have used for all this stuff, okay? And regarding the NVIDIA, NVIDIA is actually the GPU, okay? Graphic Processing Unit. This is CPU Central Processing Unit, and the for gaming stuff and all the things that you see, GeForce RT over here, GeForce RT, and they have written a name of their model. That is for actually for for the people that are using video editing, for gaming personals, for the people that love to have Photoshops and all that stuff. So they use those GPUs. Okay, that's called GPUs, which means graphics processing unit. Right? Okay, great, great, great. So, Mr. Akin, are you with us? Can you just play a video for us, and we can then continue our lecture?
Oh, sure. Thank you so much, Naza. Yes, I'll go ahead and play the video. All right, give me 1 second, people. Okay, let's go.
Nice. All right, first order of business. Create a login for the shared company drive.
Lucky you. Back when I started, all new hires got was a pat on the back and a free shrimp cocktail. Allergic.
Yikes.
I'm Sid. I work in IT, but I volunteer here in marketing just to keep everyone's security up to date.
I'm Laura, just marketing.
Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. People here aren't exactly up to code. We've had some incidents that I'm not at liberty to discuss. Don't want to compromise security. You understand.
Okay.
Knock, knock, knock. Hello. Just checking in on my new report. Are you finding everything okay?
Yep.
You find Sid okay?
Yeah.
Do not feed him shrimp. Oh, man. Oh, hey, creating the new login ID. You know, I know that can drag on, so if you get stuck at all, you can always just use mine. No spaces, no apostrophe, no apologies.
You printed your password on a mug?
No, even better. I got it off the mug I already had, hiding in plain sight. I always use the same passwords for everything. Better safe than sorry.
Ladies and
Look,
gentlemen,
basic best
do you find this
practice is to use
interesting?
multi-factor authentication, a long, random, memorable password, something like Sid Security Dojo, double exclamation. Password managers are good as well. Most people use two-factor authentication. I use five-factor authentication. It's so difficult, most bots can't get through it.
Sounds like a human probably couldn't either.
I could.
Hello again. I see you have not yet logged in. I don't want to spend too much time on process. So here is a list of all of the company passwords in one handy sheet, which I have made.
Dave, you cannot do that.
Oh, Sid, with the security. There's just too many passwords to remember. Besides, who's going to try to steal our stuff? We're not the Pentagon, right? Mm-hmm. Great. Great.
Great.
Great.
Great. 3 greats in one day. It's great.
So multi-factor authentication with a long, random, memorable password?
Yep. And a password manager to take care of these.
Got it. Got it.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That do you know? Recently, there was an interview by a psychiatrist in the street of New York. Like, it's widely spread. Maybe a lot of people you've like seen that. They were asking regarding the password from users. Okay, they'll say, "What's your Facebook password? What's your Twitter password?" And they'll say, "Hey, why would I tell you?" And a lot of like majority of people will say. So I cannot tell you, but it's my favorite pet, for example. So they'll say, "What's your favorite pet?" And I'll say, "Cat." "What's the name of your cat?" The name of my cat is this." So this is how they break the password. So how interesting that is. So you have to be super, super careful regarding those your own credentials.
Absolutely.
That is,
And yeah, just to challenge everybody also, just to piggyback on what Naza said. Yes, we are new to technology for some of us here, but some of those fundamentals we can all agree we still need to apply them in our day-to-day life. Making sure you protect your password. One big one, it might look like work. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've not set up your two-factor authentication on your WhatsApp, please do it right now, today. If you've not set it up on your sensitive information, your Facebook, do it right now. Okay? You thank me later, because the level of scamming on those platforms, Telegram, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, is unreal. And the effort it will take you to fix it afterwards might be a week of stress for you. So just do it right now so that you can avoid the stress. Okay. So back to you, Nazar. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So this is something very a pro tip. So you have to watch out for these things. Okay. So I'll just come to my very last our class discussions that we are having. It how are desktops, laptops, and mobile devices similar? How are they different? So you have two questions in one question. Okay. How are they similar? And how are they different? Can anyone just have a quick sample desktops and laptops? Okay. How are they similar? Maybe the processing speed is similar, right? Maybe the RAM is similar. Maybe the storage is similar, right? So these are the similarities, okay? These are the similarity. Okay, all of them are endpoint. That's okay. That's also great. Left storage capacity. They are similar, obviously. They have the same storage capacity, okay? So this is one thing that you have to know about it, and you have to see those things. And the other one is how are they different? Okay. They are different in operating system. That's also great. Whenever you want to have any, like you may have Windows in your laptop, but that's not the case in your cell phone. Okay, that's very rare, by the way. There are cases, but that's very rare. Okay, in common, in general, you have Android. That's totally different operating system. That may be iOS. That's totally different operating system. The mobility is obviously that's great. Obviously, mobility that's totally a different thing, and obviously the portability that we have discussed. They are portable. You can use them, and you can go like you can have a different capacity regarding your cell phone or your laptop or your desktop. So whenever you choose any desktop for your organization, please do remember, okay, first of all, you have to select a vendor. That might be Dell, that might be HP, Acer, Apple, and the list goes on according to your budget, okay? After that, then you have to go for the configuration, and the configuration should be 16 gig of RAM, maybe 512 SSD, 512 gigabits of SSD, and a processor of Core i5 or 7. That totally depends on the user requirement. And obviously, it may be a small tower or it's a full tower. It really depends on your requirement. So that's one great thing that you have to address. So who can tell me what is the best desktop company or vendor we are having in the world right now? They're very good questions. Okay. Best means that it should be best in every way, okay? In storage, in processing, and you just name it, in motherboard, everything should be perfect, okay? Okay, we have HP, we have Alienware, that's okay. Dell we also have, okay. I'm expecting something different, okay? ThinkPad, Lenovo, okay. Obviously, we are not going to fight with our CPU, so we don't need that much strong, okay? We don't need to steal one CPU kind of thing, okay? You have to be aware of Samsung, that's great. ASUS, that's one of the best casing, also a vendor that providing things. But let me tell you one thing for sure, okay? Let me just type it over here. There's one great thing you'll just learn today, a very, very important thing, okay? None of these mentioned vendors are best in everything. With telemetry emoji, okay? Remember it, okay? None of these. The thing you have listed, none of these are best in everything, remember. There's a reason behind it, okay? So if you want a super perfect, that's perfect from every angle, then you have to go for custom desktop, okay? Custom desktop means you have to buy the motherboard from maybe from ASUS. You have to buy the SSD from Samsung or maybe Intel. You can buy a kind of processor from AMD Ryzen series. You can buy the RAM from Corsair. You can have a casing of another company. So you can have a screen of Mac. It all depends on all those things. Okay, remember that. It will be expensive, obviously, but that's actually we want to have on perfection. If you have the budget, I think you can accommodate that. So if you're like super good fan of like your desktop system, then obviously you will have the budget. I'm for sure for that. So the thing is, you have to search for a lot of things. It's just to tell you people that none of these vendors are perfect in everything, okay? For example, Dell may be super perfect in, let's suppose in for example, like in memory or in motherboard, but Dell may not function up to mark as like Samsung, as like Intel, as like, for example, like Toshiba. So if you want a perfect thing, just a dedicated kind of system for yourself or for your boss or someone, you have to make a custom desktop system. In custom desktop system, you can pick the best from every vendors. Okay, for example, SSDs, Samsung SSDs are one of the best. Okay, or you can have the board of ASUS, okay? That's a gaming board. You can put that also. You can have the processor of AMD, okay? The Ryzen series. You can have the RAMs of Corsair, okay? That's also another vendor. So when you have all these 6 to 7 vendors combined in one desktop system, you'll just love that, believe me. You will have a great experience. Obviously, you have to do a lot of things. You can watch that, or you can have assemble that all by yourself. But the thing is that it will be up to mark. Everything will be up to mark. Make sure it is like super compatible with the software if you're having any CP kind of like any official kind of tasks, okay? So this was one fact I like to share that also. So, and obviously you have to also check into your budget, and you have to mention all those vendors within your budget, okay? That's one of the most important things. So always be good in vendor pack. You have to pick a good vendor for your IT equipment. The second thing is the cost budget, okay? If it is for you, you also have to consider that. If you're buying for on reference for another one, for other people, or you recommend them, then you also have to look to the cost in a very initial stages, okay? Great. So what kind of tasks are best done on each of device? So who can tell me any quick answer, very quick answer in desktop and laptop, okay? Which task can be done separately? Oh my goodness, okay, that's great. And like, for example, in desktop, you can have a very great typing, okay? You can have a very great video editing, that's great. Web browsing is great. So you can have a lot of playing games, that's great. You can have a great experience regarding all those stuff, okay? And obviously using the Office 365 and Microsoft Office is also one of the great things you're having. And if you're having a lot of things like communicating a lot of peripheral devices, desktop is the best thing that you're having. Obviously the Premiere, Photoshops, and all those heavy softwares obviously are the best to use in your desktop. For the laptop, you can attend Zoom calls. For a laptop, you can have your email chats, your regular things. But for heavy stuff, the things that you see that it should be like, it should be done through some dedicated kind of software, so and hardware, then you have to go for your desktop systems, okay? So that's one of the experience you have to share. You have to know about these things, okay? And these are super important for your exposure, okay? So let's just quickly jump out to our this small kind of so I hope we're just not missing the things we'll be having and communicating all the stuff stepwise. So we'll describe a common internal components of typical computer system, including processor, RAM, motherboard, power supply. GPU stands for graphics processing unit. A network interface card, and IC stand for internet and network and internet card, and obviously we have a cooling system for our heavy desktop gaming or video editing software systems. Okay, we have to distinguish between the two main types of consumer level CPUs. We have to describe how computer processor execute instructions. And obviously, we have to follow the guidelines to reduce electrostatic discharge when you are working with computers. So identify the various type of expansion slots on motherboard. There is also a very great thing regarding these all computer kind of ideas. You also should always be having, we call it the IT toolkit, okay? This is called the IT toolkit. It's almost like $50. So it depends maybe from country to country. So you can have that. The purpose of this toolbox is to have all of the necessary equipments, okay? All of the necessary equipments. You can see the screwdrivers with different kind of screws with mentioning their number, H14, H316, H532. You have the T5 series, okay? You have all the environment over here. You have all, it's almost like, it's just like a surgeon kit, okay? By the way, you people are now surgeon. So you can have that white kind of coat now on you, and you can say, hey, don't mess with IT guys, okay? Never ever mess. We have a kind of toolkit. If you just open that, you'll be just unconscious. So don't ever mess with the IT people, okay? So it's just a joke, okay? Don't worry about it. We are not that much. We are super cool guys, by the way. The IT people are super, super interesting. They always have a great news. So this is a great part. They always know, like from the very initial stages, okay? So this is one thing you have to look into those things. This is IT toolkit. Over here, you have. Oh, they also have a brush for us. Oh my goodness. I thought this was the hairbrush. It is a charger, okay, to check all those charger stuff. It's similar to the hairdresser tools, by the way, but it's not, okay? You have a cutter over here. You have obviously a complete measurement over here, this stuff. You have small screwdrivers if you are messing with any laptop. You have screw wrench over here. And you also have a complete balancer over here, by the way. I don't know what balancer is used for in the IT. I don't ever, maybe the CPU is like tilted. You have to put that on the CPU. Can anyone just throw light on this thing? What do we use balancer for in the IT? Have any idea? Anyone can tell me in the rack, okay, to line up the GPU? Okay, or maybe to line up the laptop, right? There may be a desktop, there may be, yeah, great, Larry. Thank you so much for adding that, obviously. Do you know, this is actually most probably when you have computer systems and you have HDD installed or you have heavy kind of processing going on. So when you put that on rack, on the server rack, or on the system CPUs or on the IT equipments, it should be in a full balance manner. Okay, it shouldn't be like up and down. The reason behind it is that the balance of hardware inside, they may get damaged. Okay, these are electronic equipments. You never know about it. Okay, you never ever know what things going to be wrong, like in the very last minute. Okay, obviously laying functions. That's great. Thank you so much for adding that. And obviously the server rack is one of the most important, but we will get to that later on. To the server stuff, how does they work? What are the necessary things that we can look up to those and all the stuff? Okay, so this toolkit is one of the most important. You should have that. You can have also like there are complete with tester. They have with the RJ45 connector like this one. You're having that. Client tools they have. So these are the puncher. Okay, you want to do those connection testing. You have the tester already over here. At the top you can see RJ45 ports, and you have a Caesar also, and obviously you have all these other crimping tool also, and you can use and you can connect connectors like this. I think most of people have seen those connectors. If it is RJ11, it's for the telephone. If it's RJ45, it's for the internet. Simple is that, okay? This is how you do those we call it punching in the telephone thing, and this is how you marry all the things. This is the measurement of those lines. So it's very good, cool stuff, right? When you're having a bag of these and you're going to office, and someone says, "Hey, Vector, my friend, you have a brand new bag, and you're just looking a great professor. I think you're doing operation of all this stuff today." You'll say, "You'll just look, or just see what happens." Anyhow, so you should have these kind of tools, and these are the representation of your field. You should be aware of it, how to use these tools. Okay, we just see those crimping tools. These are one of the most necessary ones. You should have those. The crimping tool especially, and the tester. Okay, very important, super important. Okay, so you can see all those details and all the stuff, right? Great. So these were the things that that's how you can also use they can also guide regarding the electrostatic discharge. For example, if you want if you open a CPU, you still have to, even if you have discarded your CPU from the charging, you still have to press the power button 2 to 3 times. If you're like opening, or you're just opening the screws of your CPU and you're just placing a new processor or RAM. So you have to be aware there is still a little current remaining in those small ICs, those capacitors, those transistors. So to minimize that risk and to keep your computer safe, you still have to press the power button for like 5 seconds, so that can be avoided. Okay, so thank you so much. That's great thing. So this is one thing you should be remembering this whenever you open computer system. Identify various types of expansion slots. So expansion slots, let's just quickly jump out to one of the gaming kind of motherboard and see how things are going. Okay, so we have a source motherboard. Okay, this is the gaming lab. This is the gaming AM4 a source motherboard, and you can see the pictures over here. If you see over here, this is the fan you are having it, and this is this dedicated slot for a PCIe 4.0 by 4. That is super fast, which can plug any SSD over here. You have a small jack over here. You have a capacitors at the corner. You have this. What's this CMOS battery used for? Who can tell me that? Do you see this small kind of battery in every computer? The round, white. Who can tell me what that's used for? BIOS. That's great, Larry. Thank you so much for your input. Anyone else for BIOS? And basic input output system, right? So The basic function of obviously is the BIOS within the checkout. Whenever, even if you've noticed something, when you go for BIOS, actually basic input output system, the basic configuration you're having it kind of like firmware inside it, and this is actually maintaining all those things. One of the best feature of this battery is, if you have noticed, when you go on leave and you come after 7 days, after 10 days, after a month, you just turn on your CPU, you still get an updated date, right? So you people still get an updated date. The reason behind and the working is actually through all the CMOS battery, okay? This is actually the guy that's providing you the accurate date and time, okay? Remember that. And one thing I would like to add, a pro tip, a very, very professional tip, okay? That has come through a lot of experience. Remember, any IT equipment, if that's your smartphone, if that is your laptop, if that's your desktop, if that's your server, anything that's considered as an IT device, you should always initially check the date and time. Okay, one of the most troublemaker regarding when you're troubleshooting all those things is the date and time. They have the wrong date and time, and a lot of softwares are not working, and you still don't know what's going on with my cell phone. Everything looks fine, the screen is fine, the buttons are fine, my data is secured. Still, the WhatsApp is not working. Maybe the other application that you have considered is not working. What's the reason behind it? So the biggest reason of one of the troublemaker is the CMOS batteries. So you have to look for that. It should be like the date and time should be updated one. Okay, great. So these are some expansion slots you can see over here. The processor just at the top over here. You can just put the processor over here. You have what else did we have over here? We have another slot of M2 heatsink that's just connected over here. We have safe slot also. We have just make sure if I can get a clear picture of that. So this is how a motherboard looks like, okay? Just for the information, so you can have a view. It's not that much scary. These are the RAM address generation 2 RGB header also over here. So it's like quite gaming kind of PC, okay? This is the processor you have to put over here. And obviously we have the power, we have the PSU, power supply unit, okay? So these are the power supply unit, the big fan and the desktop you're having, and these are the cable that connected to this corner. And these are the jumpers we have. So let's just go for the two. This is the reset button. Most probably they sometimes reset that also have. And we also have the board chip, so you can upgrade the firmware and all the stuff. And this is also obviously the audio 8-channel HD audio codec over here. So this is quite a gaming PC. And at this side, obviously, you'll see the Ethernet ports. And if you go to the port side, you can also see those jacks. These are the Ethernet, Internet RJ45 port. You have USB port 3.0. You have the audio plugs over here. You have the HDMI. And you also have the DPI display cable also. And obviously, you have the typical mouse and keyboard, earlier version of that board also available for any gaming console and all that stuff. So I think that's round enough. This is how a motherboard looks like. And if you open your CPU, you can also find kind of similar kind of thing. This is from ASUS, and it is tough gaming like X570 Plus with Wi-Fi. So this is quite featured motherboard. Okay, You may not see that on the usual computers, remember that. And obviously we have the new Ryzen series 4000 and 5000 for you. That is from AMD. So whenever AMD is the company, so whenever they announce a processor, they give them a name, and the Ryzen is their processor series. So the further they go, is Ryzen 7, Ryzen 8, Ryzen 9, and it goes on. So these are actually those processor names that they have given to them. Okay, great. So we will just have a 5-minute break. So you can just get fresh, and after 5 minutes, we will just be back and we'll just resume our lecture, okay? So you'll just be having, please don't leave. You can just mute your mics, you can just like turn off your videos, and you can just leave on the same state. And we can just start just after 5 minutes from now, okay? Thank you so much for your attendance. Thank you so much for your time and confidence.
Hey, Tim, it's just a 5 minutes break, so it's not frozen. Please hang in there. Just use the time to take a break, bathroom break, and refresh yourself. We'll be back in 3 minutes from now.